WGS for NetSuite is specifically built for the welding supply and gas distribution industry by extending NetSuite's #1 cloud-based business management software suite. Get the scalability, accessibility, and flexibility of NetSuite without compromising on the features needed to support your unique business. I'm going to cover the supply chain management features that are a part of the WGS for NetSuite bundle. I'll cover the automated purchasing manager tools for batch creating purchase orders and branch transfers. I'll show how to create hard good POs and hard good branch transfers. I will demonstrate how the production process works, including some production reporting tools, cylinder branch transfer orders, and spec gas POs. To begin, let's take a look at the inventory item in NetSuite. The inventory item record contains standard item information such as name and description, supplier code, and part code. Multiple units of measure can be set on items for stock, purchase, and sales units of measure. There's an inventory status page on this item. From this tab, you can see each location and what's on hand, committed, back ordered, available, as well as the reorder points and preferred stock levels for each of the location. Price and costing information is also set on the item. Our flexible pricing structure is demonstrated in our pricing demo video. Now that we've seen the item, let's look at how the batch create hard goods purchase order screen works. I'm going to begin on the batch PO page. You can optionally pick the vendor and it will filter only the vendor's items. This uses the preferred vendor that is set on the item itself. Leaving it blank will pull anything regardless of vendor. If I click Get Items, it will pull back a list of items the system believes I need to order based on what is back ordered, available, and the reorder points and restock levels on the items. The page starts by listing the item that thinks I need to order. If I click on the blue inventory icon, I can see a quick view of what is currently available at all the branches. This lists the branch as well as what's on hand, committed, back ordered, available, on order, and in transit. Users can quickly change the reorder point and restock level right here on the fly. You can also see the number of units that were sold by day. So users will use this page to see what's on hand elsewhere as well as adjust mins and maxes. I can also see which branch has a surplus of inventory. The vendor will default from the preferred vendor and the cost information defaults from the vendor. There's a quick view of the status for the location that we're purchasing into. I can quickly see how much of this item is back ordered for this location by clicking on that link. This shows the sales orders and transfer orders that require this item. Then I can go through and start picking my items. As I'm picking items, there's a freight paid that is automatically being accumulated. Freight paid is the minimum dollar amount to not be charged for freight. This is set on the vendor. If the PO is submitted with a total amount less than the freight paid, the PO will automatically need to be approved. Once I click the order items, the system will automatically create purchase orders by vendor. Now let's look at how we can transfer hard goods from one branch to another. We saw the purchasing screen first, but in the real world, you might create the transfer orders first because that will drive the demand that will determine what to order on a PO. So we're here on the Create Transfer Orders page, and we're going to choose a from and a to location, and then what kind of item we're going to transfer. In this case, we're going to be transferring hard goods. So I'm going to click on the Get Items, and then this is going to list all the items the system believes we need to transfer from the central warehouse to branch 1. You can see that this screen is very similar to the Create PO screen with a lot of the same information. This screen includes the inventory status for both the from location and the to location. I can see the mins and maxes for branch 1 to know what the demand is. I can also click on the back order quantity to see what makes up the back order quantity for branch 1 and what sales orders are driving that demand. Then I just check the items I want to transfer, click the order items, and the system will automatically create branch transfer orders. Let's look at the production process in WGS for NetSuite. To start with, I'm going to cover the structure of how we have our cylinders set up in NetSuite. To do this, I'm going to show you the Oxygen 200 cylinder. On the cylinder record, we have standard item information such as item name, description, supplier code, part code, and unit of measure information. We have classifications such as product category, item type, track about category and group, and the pumping method. We also have an inventory status tab along the bottom that shows cylinder availability information by branch. So let's talk a little bit about the structure. Cylinders are assembly items, and bulk gas items are inventory items. For assembly items, think of a cabinet manufacturer. You can set up the cabinet as an assembly item with all the components that make up that cabinet. You build cabinets in the system, and it relieves the cabinet components and adds a completed cabinet into inventory. That's how we set up cylinders in our bundle. The cylinders are assemblies, and they contain bulk gas as inventory item components. While cylinders aren't built like cabinets, they are filled, so we track the fills as assembly builds in NetSuite. This relieves the bulk gas and creates filled cylinders in inventory. We've worked with Trackabout to make this process as automated as possible. As cylinders are filled and scanned, that information is sent to Trackabout. Trackabout then sends that fill information automatically to NetSuite. NetSuite creates the assembly build and relieves the bulk gas from inventory. So, as fills are happening throughout the day, NetSuite is relieving bulk gas in real time. Average cost information is stored on the cylinder, and any differences between what NetSuite says is on hand of bulk and what the physical tanks say are on hand is calculated as leakage. Okay, so I know that's a lot of information, so let me summarize. Filled cylinders are assembly items and are what are sold to customers. These items are automatically filled inside of NetSuite seamlessly through the Trackabout integration. Bulk gas is automatically relieved as fills happen. But what about the unfilled cylinders and physical cylinders that are sold outright to customers? Unfilled cylinders are tracked in Trackabout, but not in NetSuite. The physical cylinders are separate inventory items that can be sold outright if somebody wants to buy the physical cylinder. Otherwise, the system assumes these are rented and the physical cylinder inventory item is not included on the sales order. So by relieving bulk gas the way we are doing it, it allows us to track costing, leakage, and that kind of reporting. So let's look at some of the reports we have next. So these are just a small sample of the reporting we can do with cylinders inside of NetSuite. These reports are real-time and can be run anytime, any place using NetSuite's cloud-based reporting tools. And with Trackabout, this data is being updated automatically throughout the day. So this production schedule shows what needs to be pumped right now by cylinder type, in this case, oxygen. The information about what needs to be pumped is based on the sales orders and branch transfer orders that are in the system. This production report shows all the cylinders that were filled by total cubic feet. This is based off of the cylinder fill information in NetSuite that comes automatically from Trackabout. And then this report here is about the production components, and these are the bulk gas that is consumed. This is run by category and shows the total cubic feet. And this is also based off of the cylinder fill information that is in NetSuite coming automatically from Trackabout. What about transferring cylinders to another branch? Now I'll show how that process works. Cylinders transfer in a very similar way as hard goods. On this transfer order page, I'm going from the central warehouse to branch 1, and my item type is cylinder. I'm going to click Get Items, and it will return a list of all the cylinders that it believes I need to transfer. I click the items I want to transfer, click Order Items, and a single transfer order is created. But what about spec gases? If you order specialty gases from a vendor, we cover that scenario using the Create Purchase Orders page. The item type is cylinder, and the vendor is your spec gas vendor. I'm going to click Get Items, and it's going to return a list of all the spec gases that the system believes need to be ordered. I'll check the items I want to order, click the Order Items, and a single purchase order is created. So these are some of the features of the supply chain management functionality of the WGS for NetSuite bundle. To recap, we've covered how to create hard good POs and hard good branch transfers, the production process including reporting tools, cylinder branch transfer orders, and spec gas POs.